Frank, are you going to be able to come home a little early?
I don't think it'll happen. I told you already that recently I've been busy. Did you forget that?
Well, today I heard the results from the exams I took at the hospital. And I want to talk with you, face to face, about what they found out.
Now that you mention it, you were going on about how you haven't been feeling okay before. How'd it go? Now, I don't want to wait all day to hear from you, so just go ahead and say it.
They said that I have cancer.
Huh? Cancer? Hmm? You have to be joking, right?
I'm being serious right now. That's why I don't want you to joke about this anymore.
Like the serious kind of cancer? You're not just messing with me right now, are you? Because before you were doing all your work just fine with no problems. And you always seemed to care about your health a lot more than me and even exercised. So that must mean it's something they can fix in no time, right?
I don't have any idea yet. But either way, I'll have to start going in for treatments. So I think next week I'll start staying at the hospital. They want to run a lot more detailed tests on me.
Is that so? I'm sorry for screwing around before. I just didn't think this would turn out to be anything life-threatening, you know?
You're fine. I'm also having a bit of a hard time accepting all of this. But, man, am I really shocked by everything they said to me.
Rightfully so. Well, I think for the rest of the day, you should do all the things you want to help you relax and eat whatever you'd like. After all, you won't know about all the details until you go back in for more tests, right? So this could all be some mistake on their part that you're getting all worked up over.
But they're saying it's not looking good for me. I got a lot of bills and costs from the hospital for the treatments. So I'd like the two of us to read through it all together.
I'm sorry. Once work's done here today, I'd love to just come back home. But I really am going to be busy for a while.
You've been really busy with work for over half a year now, right?
Once I'm able to finally put the project I'm on to rest, I'll make all the time in the world for you.
So, does this mean while I'm in the hospital you won't have any time to come in and see me?
I plan to go to see you there. But how long would you be in the hospital for?
I think for just a week to start.
1 week, huh? Well, that should be okay. I think I'll be able to make it in once, maybe.
I'm really going to be getting very worried about all of this. I know that I said I haven't come to accepting everything yet, but really, I just don't want to think about this anymore. So, even before I have to go to the hospital to stay, I don't want to be all by myself.
Sorry, I have to work. The reason that I'm working so hard is so that I can continue to take care of you. It's all for the sake of living happy together with no worries. I do really feel sorry for having to leave you all by yourself during such a long period, but you can hold out a little longer. Once my project is all finished and my work has calmed down a bit, I'll be able to stay around you longer.
I see. All right then. I'm sorry for bothering you about that.
No, you're the one that's gotten sick, so I'm sure you feel helpless right now. And it is cancer after all, right? I get how you're feeling right now.
Then can you at least come home early today to be with me?
Alright, I have something in mind. Today isn't going to work for me, but tomorrow I promise to be home for you. I'll ask and see if they'll let me go early.
Really?
I'm being serious. If I were able to control my schedule and everything, I'd be home in a heartbeat.
All right. Then I look forward to seeing you more tomorrow.
Alright.
And I want you to listen to all my concerns and everything as well.
Okay. Make sure not to dwell too long on all of this and get to bed as soon as you can. and I'm going to get back to work. You'll be fine, Zoe. Once you've gone to the hospital and gotten all your treatments, everything will go back to being normal. I'll even make sure to take a few days off to go somewhere nice as a celebration to you.
Frank, even though I've been in the hospital for a bit now, you still haven't come to see me once.
I'm sorry. There were some issues at work.
But you promised me that you'd come at least one time to see me. And since I've found out that I have cancer, you still haven't come home in time to ever talk to me about it. I think I understand how you feel about all of this now. Even though I've become really sick, you still don't seem to care. You're just the same as you've always been. All talk, but nothing to show for it.
Don't say such rude things about me. Hey, there was that one morning that I listened to what you had to say before I went to work, right? I made sure to make time for you to talk to me about everything.
That was like for a few minutes, Frank. And it seems like everything I said to you about my condition just went right over your head.
That's not at all what happened. It's just that even though you say these things to me, I don't have the mental capacity to think about them. Honestly, I don't even have any good advice for you.
I'm not trying to get any advice from you, though. I just want you there to listen to me talk, so I don't feel alone during all of this.
I'm sorry.
Today they found out further things about the cancer and have decided on a good treatment for me.
What's that?
They were saying I only have half a year to live at most.
Huh? You're lying.
Frank, if I were just lying, that would have been amazing.
So at this point, no matter what they do, there's nothing that'll stop the cancer?
That's what they think right now.
What do you mean by them thinking that right now? This is something really important.
If they can't figure out a way to fight back the cancer, then there's nothing else that can be done.
What? Zoe, are you just gonna give up and leave me here? I don't want anything like that. I don't want to believe anything you've just said.
And I'm in the same boat, Frank. Also, I'll be staying at the hospital a lot longer now.
I'm so sorry. I'm still not ready for something like this to be happening. I don't even know how I'm supposed to go see you now because I don't know what emotions will come out.
You don't have to think too much about that. I just ask that you stay by my side until the end.
Okay. I'll try and make sure that starting today, I get out of work sooner. I'll then be able to spend a lot of my time next to you in the hospital.
Aren't you busy with work, though?
But when you say you only have so much longer to live, I don't care about work anymore.
Oh, I see. Thank you, Frank.
Isn't this the right choice for me? To do anything you ask of me while you're that sick? If there are places you want to go and visit, I'll make sure to take you to them.
Alright. Then I'd like you to help me inform everyone I know about what is happening with me and help me prepare for the end.
You want me to help you with that?
And not just that, but also the fact that after I'm gone, all my things will be stuck in your house, right? I don't think you should be left to deal with all of my things by yourself. So I'm thinking, little by little, we should start cleaning my things up.
Already? You still have some time for this to all be fixed, right?
I will still be getting treated, but the probability of things going well aren't high for me.
But instead of doing what seems like chores, shouldn't we be spending your time doing a lot more fun things like traveling and such?
Right now, I don't have the energy to go anywhere. Really, I just want to continue living life like nothing's ever even happened.
Alright. I'll stop trying to tell you what to do. Let's just focus on whatever you want. So when will be the next time you're in the hospital for a little while?
In about another week or so, I'll still have to go back in for more treatments. So, until then, do the best you can with taking time off work and coming to help me.
Addison, I'm so sorry for not making it home in time to meet you this week, but my wife has finally gone back to the hospital.
Addison?
I'm sorry. I made the promise to start calling you Addie, right? Also, I have some great news.
What's this good news?
My wife said she's only got a half a year left in her. Once I finished up with the funeral and everything, let's you and I get married. And then my wife's money should be coming to me from her life insurance, and we can start living a lovely life together. I can't believe my wishes have been answered. I've been telling myself for a while, but it's my destiny to end up with you, Addie.
Huh? This is your mom, and I want to know what's going on here.
Addie?
This is not Addie. My name is Gretchen. Don't tell me you've forgotten the name of the woman that's given birth to you.
Huh? But this contact is saved under Addie. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, Mom. I think that I made a small mistake. Can you forget about everything I've said?
Oh, there's no way I'll be forgetting about everything you just told me. Do you have any idea of what all you've just said?
Wait, and that's why I'm saying I made a mistake. You don't have to worry about any of this.
I have no choice but to worry about all of this now. Have you really been having an affair this whole time?
You're wrong, Mom. The name Addie is just that. It's an AI account that I started talking to on my phone.
Huh?
It's one of those accounts where if you start talking to it, it'll start responding back to you and make a conversation. I'm sure someone like you wouldn't have a clue what I'm talking about.
Oh, don't start treating me like I'm stupid, Frank. Your mom knows all about those sorts of AI accounts. But I can tell that you're not just talking with an AI. You can't just marry an AI, and you have to talk with them about getting your wife's life insurance money. And hearing you say that Zoe having cancer and possibly dying soon is good news. Frank, you'd better start behaving yourself right now.
Mom, can you calm down for a bit?
Do you think I can calm down after hearing all that crap from you? I've heard from Zoe that you've not even gone to see her once while she's been in the hospital. But I never thought the reason for that would be because you're having an affair. As your own mother, I am embarrassed by what all you've told me.
And I'm saying you have it all wrong. I just haven't been having good luck together with Zoe. I don't think you know anything about this, but Zoe is a job kind of woman, so she's never home to do any of the chores for me. We both work full-time jobs and such, so we agreed that we split all the chores and do them together, but I'm always the one having to pick up her slack. I've just gotten tired of it. Having to work all day and then come home to do everything myself.
Is that the case?
That's exactly what's been happening. As my mom, you wouldn't want your own son to have to keep dealing with a painful marriage like that, would you? I've been in pain all this time.
Is that so?
You have to be able to understand how I feel about all of this now, right? The girl that I'm going out with now, Addison, is a really well-kept woman that tends to the house all the time. She's both young and has a beautiful face. And whenever I get home from work, she's always making me something delicious to eat. I'm sure if you met her, you'd begin to like her yourself.
Does she plan to marry you later on as well? Especially when you're still married to Zoe? Do you think I'd like that about her?
You don't have to say it like that, though. Starting to date her while being married to Zoe is wrong of me. But there's only a little while longer before everything's okay.
Ugh, even if you see it like that, an affair is an affair.
But it's an affair involving true love.
Ugh, I don't want you to ever say that having an affair over true love is okay. Do you not understand how little you've cared for Zoe while you've been married to her? It's been her this whole time that's done nothing but care for you. She was the one that got you to start talking with your parents again after such a long time of never seeing us. And she was the one that got you to quit your gambling addiction when you started to lose too much money. And who was the one that continued to care for you and support you as you continued to change through careers? The only reason you've been doing so well right now is all thanks to everything that Zoe has done for you.
I'm sure you can say that most of my success is due to her, but no matter how you look at this now, she's only got a half a year left. You still want to see me have a grandson for you, right? So you should be able to keep all of this a secret now. I don't want you saying anything needless to Zoe about this, okay?
So you plan for us to just keep this hidden? Even though you went and said all those horrible things to me?
I must have just messed up. When I was changing Addison's name to her nickname, I must have accidentally changed yours to Addie. Also, you'd never want to tell someone on their deathbed that their husband has been cheating on them, right? And at this point, I'm the only one around to help care for Zoe now. Do you really think that you could do such a thing to her?
I'm sorry, but Zoe has been reading everything we've been saying this whole time.
Huh?
Right now, I'm here with Zoe in her hospital room. You're finished, Frank.
Zoe, a settlement notice just came in the mail to our house and to my girlfriend's house.
It's made it then. And the fact that you could hear from Addie about this is a bonus.
Please don't say her name like that.
If you don't have any problems with the amount I'm asking for, then I'd like you to pay up, okay?
You know dang well that there's a problem. Can't pay you $30,000.
Well, if that's the case, then get on the phone with my lawyer and the two of you can talk that out.
Hey, Zoe, I've broken up with her.
Broken up with Addie? Sorry. I meant with your girlfriend?
Yes. After hearing about everything from my mom, I've thought for a bit. I was able to see that I've been doing a lot of things wrong and that I was lucky to have you as my wife. So I'd like to take a chance to get back together with you. Even if you don't have much longer to live, I want to spend the rest of that time with you.
Well, Frank, even if we do get back together, I still want you to pay that settlement to me.
Huh?
Come on now, Frank. Getting a divorce and that settlement are two different things. That settlement is because of you cheating on me with another woman.
But if I'm going to be together with you again, I want to do anything you want. And so I'd like to keep the money instead of giving it to you so that I can pay for everything. If not, then I won't be able to make your last moments as amazing as possible for you. And also, I'd have to borrow some money to pay you.
Then go ahead and start borrowing that money.
Do you really want to see me go down that badly? I've thought about all of the wrongs that I've made and everything. I want to make sure now that I can treat you well, and I've even prepared for this. I'll make sure to make up for all the pain I've left you in by doing my best to leave you happy and smiling.
You keep saying things like I'm going to be gone soon, but I am still doing just fine for myself. And having you around me now would just be annoying.
What? Aren't you only expected to live a little bit longer?
Right. That was a lie. If I didn't do anything about my cancer, then I would have had half a year left or so. But I was able to get the surgery I needed, and now I'm fine. Of course, I will have to do some more tests even after the surgery, so I'll be in the hospital a bit longer.
You kept that all hidden from me?
Frank, I was telling you the truth about me having a cancer.
But you just told me that the half-a-year life expectancy thing was a lie. I was seriously worried about you this whole time. Why would you tell me a lie like that?
Because I knew about you having an affair. And when I was thinking about how to divorce you, the doctors found out that I had cancer. And so I waited a little while longer to see how you'd act, and when you found out about my situation, I had this deep feeling in my heart to trust that you'd be there for me as my husband. But even though I had a bad cancer, you continued to focus more of your time on going to see your partner. And so that's when I decided there was nothing left for me to do besides leave you.
So you're saying that if I would have had started to take care of you more after finding out you had cancer, this would all be different?
I'm not really sure. But I'm sure I wouldn't be as upset as I am right now, though. But I'm glad that I learned just what kind of a person you really are. I just really never expected you to be so heartless through all of my pain.
Zoe, I'm sorry. I'm being serious when I say that I broke up with her. So please just rethink everything you're doing to me.
You don't get to ask something like that from me. You were very happy to hear that I only had half a year to live and that you'd be getting my life insurance money.
Back then, I was only thinking about my girlfriend and I. So I felt excited about our futures together. But now my eyes have finally been opened.
Well, you're far too late now. Also, I'm sure you're still keeping in touch with your girlfriend as we speak.
We are not. I told you already that we broke up.
Before I came into the hospital for this round of treatments, I had come home once, right?
What?
During that time, I took a look at the laptop you've been using for work. I was able to see all of the messages and everything you've been sending to that Addison.
Huh?
You told her that you were destined to be with her and that's why I got cancer and that I was going to pass. And you said that once I was gone, you wouldn't have to pay any settlement to me because I'd be already dead. Seems like you really haven't learned anything after what your mom told you. I can't believe my plan ended up fooling you though.
Wait, so you were the one that changed my mom's name to Addie to confuse me?
That was me.
So it was all your fault that you got my family involved in all of this. Both my parents have already told me that they don't want me coming back to them ever again. They've completely cut ties with me, Zoe.
And isn't this what you deserve for all of this? If you weren't cheating on me this whole time, then none of this would ever have happened to you.
But everything on that laptop was my privacy. I'm going to take you to court for this.
Go ahead. I'm already going to be getting a settlement from you and your girlfriend. So, if you think you can still fight me, then bring it on.
Come on, Zoe. I don't want to continue with this kind of crap. I'm telling you now that I'm really sorry for cheating on you and all that. But it's not my fault that someone came along that I became interested in, right?
Well then, if you found someone else to love, you should have told me that we were getting a divorce. There was no reason for you to hide all of that from me and start dating her.
Well, I cared about you so much, Zoe, that I didn't want to say anything that might hurt you.
And if you had a moment where you had to choose between telling me or not telling me, because you thought you still cared about me, then you should have never been. Anyway, I already know the reason you never told me was to dodge any kind of settlements. You just wanted to make sure you didn't become the bad person in all of this, right? And now that you've gone and not only wasted my time, but also the time of that other girl, you are the worst kind of man, Frank.
Zoe, please forgive me. I'm telling you that I'll become a much better husband for you. And I'll make sure to actually break up with Addison.
I'm sure you're just saying that. I bet when things calms down between us, you'll divorce me and go marry her. I mean, there is nothing else you could be thinking right now, right?
Believe me, I have nothing else to hide from you now. And from now on, I'll make sure to show you any messages I get or send. I won't cheat on you anymore. I've really learned from everything that's happened between us this time.
Can you stop treating me like an idiot already? I was really hoping that once I made it over this fight with cancer, I'd be able to make things right with you and we could live a much happier life. But now knowing that you not only were just cheating on me, but were also happy to hear that I was dying has killed any feelings I had for you. Do you really think I'd still be willing to trust you? Your head is all screwed up, Frank.
I've thought over everything, though. And this was only my first time cheating, right? I promise to never do it with anyone ever again.
And I don't want you to ever cheat on me again. Hence, the divorce. Whether you want to marry someone else or anything else, you go ahead and do it on your own.
I can't. My girlfriend is asking me to pay for her settlement as well as my own. I don't have that kind of money, and I never thought she'd be the kind of woman to ask me to pay for her as well. And so, to be honest, I don't think I love her anymore. If it were you, you'd help me out of the situation, right? I have finally been able to realize just how amazing of a wife you've been with how often you've helped me.
No matter how many times you ask, the answer will still be the same. And wasn't it your destiny to end up with someone like her? So you need to follow your destiny and get married to her after we're finished here.
Zoe, I want your forgiveness. I don't know what I'll be able to do without you in my life.
Frank, we are getting a divorce, so just give it a rest, okay? Nothing about this is as hard as you're making it seem. All you have to do is keep going out with that woman and that's it. So go ahead now and throw away your sick wife and move on living as the toxic man you are. After that, I was able to divorce Frank, and I was also able to get the money I had asked for him in a settlement. Of course, he continued to ask me to never leave him. But with the fact of him cheating on me, there was no way I'd agree with him. Also, I heard from both of his parents that they blame him for all of this as well, and are never going to help him with anything for as long as they are alive. Before Frank had ever been married to me, he had been a gambler, and a bad one at that, leading him into some pretty bad debt. The person that had ended up helping with all of that debt was me after I'd married him. Before, he would never once talk to his parents after they learned of his addiction, but when I had come in and helped him pay off his debts, he rekindled the relationship he had with his parents. But with what had happened this time between him and I, his parents have completely cut ties with him. Luckily, when I was starting to feel down on my luck after coming out of the hospital, Frank's parents were kind enough to allow me to stay with them for a bit in their condo. They told me that one day, when both of them had passed away, they planned to give their condo to their son and I. But after all that he'd done to me, they chose to allow me to use it while I got back on my feet. And back to Frank and his girlfriend, they both started to fight a lot over the settlement she needed to pay yet. And in the end, they both finally broke up. Addison soon came around to finding the money to pay off the settlement. But ever since then, I've really not much heard about what's happened to her. All I know is that my lawyer told me that when she came in to pay off the settlement, she told him to let me know that she was sorry. I suppose, since we've never talked to one another at all, that I'll accept her apology. But I won't be forgiving her for staying with a man that's happy about someone else dying. Now as for Frank, he is just living on his own in that house with the debt he has from paying me all the money he owed. Even though he's gotten what he's asked for, he's not once learned anything from his mistakes. And so that's why I'm never willing to forgive him. I hope that he'll never find a way to pay off his debt and sinks into hell all by himself with nobody there to support him. As for me now, since I no longer have to be in that hospital for treatment, I'm able to go in every so often for a checkup to make sure that I'm staying cancer-free. There was a lot of things that happened to me in a short time, and the stress was immeasurable. But I'm so happy that after everything, I came out okay. I still think about all the time I wasted together with Frank from time to time, but I've also started looking at it as a good experience to learn from. From now on, I won't be just working hard for myself though. I'll also be working hard for those that came to support me during my rough time, and for those that will come in the future. But before I start taking things too seriously again, I'm going to take a small break to relax and unwind. And then, I'll get right back to working and make sure that every day I live with a smile on my face.